Hello everyone, I'm Dear Myrtle, your friend in genealogy, but this channel's all about Myrt's journaling. I'm doing this to create interesting ways to share personal and ancestral family histories with my grandchildren. Now, in previous videos, I've shown you how I've done some collaging on small tags, leaving space at the back for the journaling. And sometimes it's hard to do that and to figure out what would fit in such a tiny space. Kind of like these anyway. So let me show you what I've been doing lately. I kind of forget. I get doing stuff and I forget to hit the record button. I bring this book by Edith Holden, A Country Diary of an Edwardian Lady, because that's what I've been using. There's something for each month of the year, a couple of pages. But because a little child had written in it, I got it for next to nothing at my local Deseret Industries, which is sort of like Goodwill and stuff. So I've been taking a full sheet of paper, and I've actually been using some of that junk that you get in the mail where, I'm not going to go to Carl Malone anytime soon to get tires. This is perfectly good, thick base on which to put any kind of tea-dyed paper. Now, this one is pretty deeply, I think this is coffee dyed. But anyway, on the other side, I've started with pages from Edith Holden, which are beautiful, beautiful sketches she's done in full color, watercolor. These things here, that's from a magazine. And I'm trying to think of autumn colors so that it'll work for my grandsons as opposed to cute pinky green preppy things with sparkles that I might use for some granddaughters. These happen to be things that my friend Terry Chafin has been designing for me, and I'll be doing some more work with that old book text. And this is from a child's fairy book. Again, something I got for next to nothing at the local Deseret Industries. So you can see I'm thinking of a big space, but when we decide to cut these up and make journaling cards, here's one. That's kind of interesting. Here's another one. Kind of interesting, if you can imagine this side, and then stitching around the edge. I will do the stitching off camera and come back and show you what we end up with. But let me show you some of the others that I've done lately. Here's one I had a lot of fun with. A little bit easier to journal on the back of that. And I might yet add still some embellishments or stamps on the back once I've done some journaling. Ladies' Home Companion, that's obvious for one good card, as well as these two. You can just see where to cut it. This is some old craft paper I got from probably Joann's. Here's another one. These are elements. This one is an element from a magazine. It was one of Mr. Myrt's magazines, and I like the texture of that stonework. But it, having removed everything else off the page, it fits as an interesting thing. I've actually got fabric on here to be intriguing for a kid, a grandkid, but just anything to make it interesting. Here's a different type of collage that I've created. Again, this is elements of things from a magazine, and they just become geometric shapes when you place them here. Of course, this is recognizable as an old typewriter. But kind of intriguing. I don't know which way is the right way because I've let the text go this way and that. And yet, as you see, part of the base is that Edith Holden beautiful watercolor work. A little bit of music never hurts either. Here's one where I've already added a flip pocket where I can put a little hidden something or other. I'm thinking I'm only going to cut this in half, and this I just could not resist, this beautiful, beautiful work that Edith Holden has done. Her work is copyrighted, so I'm not going to copy those pages. I paid for the pages and I'm sending them along. And here's the last one I have to show. I thought I'd just do one for each month. Here's fabric again. I don't know if you can see that too well. Sometimes I outline with a little bit of my ink. I usually use Ranger's Distress Oxide, probably Vintage Photo. I also have Distress ink from Ranger as well. The Tim Holtz Vintage Photo looks a little bit different. But the reason I added that edging was not just to make it look old and interesting, but because I wanted to distinguish between this from the Edith Holden and that, so it would kind of pop out a little bit better. Again, I decided to use fabric that looked intriguing. And so that's a little bit about what I've started with the big collages. So what I'm going to do now is pause, if I can, and I will come back. When next you see me, I will have cut these up and done stitching around the edges as I saw fit. It's so fun to do this stuff, isn't it? Nothing left to say, but I'm Dear Myrtle, your friend in genealogy. Happy family tree climbing, everybody. That's a wrap.